And that's the whole purpose of these shows, throwing these artist showcase, is to try to grab fan bases from multiple artists and pull it into a place to pack out a show. However, if these artists don't have a fan base, then it doesn't do shit. It doesn't do shit for the artist. I remember, whenever I first did like my first show or whatever, after I did my first show, you get off stage, and there's like 15 people at the show or whatever. People are like, oh man, that was dope, man. Where can I find your stuff? And I didn't have a damn thing. I didn't have a website, so I couldn't say hardcoastmusic.net. I didn't have a business card with a QR code or even the word on there with it. I didn't have, my social media wasn't fucking brand solidarity. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, fuck. And so I realized this in like 2018 that I need to start having this shit. That's immediately what I saw was you got to be able to make it easy. You actually have to factor in for the lazy people and the not so smart people technology wise. You got to make it to where they can actually get to your shit as easy as possible. Make it as simple as possible for them. Because if you do that, then you will have growth as well too.
I'm unstoppable like rolling, cracking out the mows. Never mind the road, I go whichever I'ma go. Nothing stop me though, rain, sleet, summer, snow. I'ma grind through it.
What's up, y'all? Hard Coast here with the Music Making Sense podcast, where we talk about music, marketing, branding, and how to have success as an independent artist. With me, as always, is the Dapper Dan Mohawk Piano Man, looking like today, KP. How the hell you doing today, KP?
What's up, everybody? All right, hell yeah, man. Gonna get excited today. On. Hell yeah. Well, pretty fucking excited today for this one, man.
Yeah.
Pretty excited.
So we'll just jump right into it. So KP was telling me a couple of different things that you've been going through and stuff, and how you've been watching a lot of these like metal review shows and stuff like that, and that got you really thinking about how a lot of rock and metal bands and stuff like that still haven't even came up into 2020 yet, let alone 2024 with their marketing, especially with the online stuff. But then you also went to a live show and you realized how important live show is as well too. And like, where, I'll just stay off the top. Like, I've always been a big proponent about fuck lives, go digital and stuff like that, because people are on their phone all day. They rarely go out to a bar, yada, yada. But like, the physical element is needed in there as well once you get to a level. And different genres have different levels. And when it comes to rock and metal and stuff like that, the grunginess of a dive bar performance and stuff like that can really help push your growth. Whereas with hip hop, it's like a fucking morale killer. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Just because it's just a different atmosphere, And so, but yeah, go ahead and get into that. What kind of metal review shows were you watching and stuff like that?
Hello, you guys. First of all, we want to give it up to, of course, our
powered by Riverside FM.
Right? We want to give it up to them as well. But the thing that I saw is I went to, so just to give you guys a little detail of what happened was that March 1st, I went and checked out this band called Versipal here at the Lucky Liquor here in Seattle. And they blew my mind. In fact, the entire show, shout out to Undying Noise, Motormouth, the band, my man, Fentanyl Plume, and Violent Insurrection.
I heard you talk about them before.
Yeah, man. I shout out Ashton. Like I said, I think this young man is going to be is a metal god. So I just want to give a shout out to them, those guys. My Violent Insurrection, amazing band. So is Versipal. But the one thing that I realized, and I started, and the reason I'm having a change of heart, guys, or basically it's like I feel like I'm going back to my roots when I go to a dive bar, go to a show. And I've come to the realization that, and also checking out metal reviews. Shout out to Heavy Metal Philosophy, Banger TV, all those guys. Shout out to them for the amazing work that they do with reviewing albums. There are a couple shows that right now on YouTube that do metal album reviews, I should say. And what I come to realize is that even though we are in the digital age, and seeing how the internet works and can help artists out there, right? The one thing that will never change, and I think that is so vital when it comes to rock and metal, rock, punk, metal, noise, those genres, like the heavier, more extreme music genres. I think the live element, the dive bars, the grunginess, the that starting from the bottom, that getting it out of the mud, I think the DIY spirit, I think is so vital when it comes to it. And the only thing I would encourage more bands to do is learn the business, especially learning how to market. And when you learn marketing, what it'll do is that it'll strengthen your brand, right? And that's why I encourage them all to do it, because I went there, because when I went and checked out Versapole, and I took just footage with my phone, right? Took some good live video footage on the phone. I also got some with Violent Insurrection that I'm going to break up as well and put pieces of their content out. But when I noticed me shooting videos of them, live little shots of them, and putting them on Instagram and on other, I haven't put them on other platforms. I just test them on Instagram, and they're doing awesome, right? Because people, no matter what, they love that nostalgic. They love that nostalgia of it. They love the feeling of a live show, right? And all these and all four of all these performers, man, the bands, and the noise artists, man, they put on a great show.
All right, y'all. I just wanted to hop in here really quick and let you know about my company. I know a lot of times we're sitting here talking to you about all the different companies that rock with us here at Music Making Sense Podcast, but I just figured I'd hop in here really quick and let you know about my company and the services that I offer. Now, my company is called Apex Music System, and you can find that over at apexmusicsystem.com. You can find a full list of all the services that I offer over there in my company. If you're a podcaster or you have an online business or you're an artist, I can help you out with anything, all right? I got services such as website building, email marketing, video editing, social media management, ad management, creative content, strategy, consultations, and I can help you out no matter what your budget is. Now that's key right there. I got great prices. Plus I have a wide variety of low, medium, and high tier services, so I can help you out no matter what your need is. So make sure you go check out my company over at apexmusicsystem.com. And, like I tell you every time, make sure you let them know that I told you about my company right here on Music Making Sense Podcast, so I know that this ad's actually working. All right, I'm going to shut up so you can get back to the show.
And and being around that was like, it was just so refreshing and riveting at the same time, man. Cause like, you're able to, it's like, you're able to get the energy of the thrash and the metal, right? And you're getting the pit going, but then with the noise, like with the noise music and those, like the artists like the Fentanyl Plume, shout out to Mike, and Undying Noise, like you're getting the heaviness, right? But it's like you're able to still to relax. Like it's like you're able to there's this sense of like calming your anxiety with noise, a heavy sound, and it's not right. And it's so cool that those elements, and that's what I love about it too, is that these guys are taking, they're going different, they're doing something different. Right, like they're not coming at you with just the same show of just all thrash, all death, or all like there's a theme, there's a mix, there's a cool hybriding theme that's going on with the thrash, death, industrial noise, and I really like it, man. I love what they're doing, man. Shout out to them. But I also I was gonna buy some merch, but I ended up leaving my card here at the house. I was Man, I was so
Likely
pissed.
excuse, man. Likely excuse.
Dude, this is not an excuse, bro. I was so
I'm
pissed.
fucking with you, man.
Oh no, bro, I was so pissed at myself, right? Because what happened, I had my
like
ATM.
Venmo or Apple Pay or nothing like that.
They don't. They're old school, and that's
Fuck,
the
Jesus
problem,
Christ.
right?
How old, do they cash only? Fuck.
No, it's cash and
Cash and check.
and ATM.
Right.
So you can put it on the ATM card, like your debit card for
Debit
tap,
card, whatever. Yeah.
but I couldn't do it with my phone.
Oh man.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I was
that's one of those things, man. Like if you're
pissed.
gonna be doing something like anything in person, you got to at least have that Square. So Square, on the Square app, it has a new ability now to where you don't need that actual reader anymore. You can just tap it on your phone. Or tap phones with somebody and stuff like that in order to take the transaction. I mean, you can do the actual, you can get the little reader and stuff like that plugs in and stuff like that if you want to, but you don't have to. But you got to have abilities for people to give you money if you're going to go out there and have shit for sale. You know, that's one of the things that is the kicker, man. It's like it's not too overly expensive to do either.
No.
You know, you can do it through PayPal business, you know, goods and services. You can do it through Venmo. You can do it through Cash App. You can do it through Square, you know, and some of them take fees, some of them don't. But you got to be able to accept digital currency.
And that was my fault.
At the shows.
But you're right. But that was my fault. Well, it was the bar that didn't do that. But I didn't ask Versapol, which they had merch. I should have asked them if they do the phone, if they have a phone.
Right.
So
anything
I can
on the
do,
phone, yeah.
Right. I should have asked them because I really want a shirt. So next time I make sure I want to get me a goddamn shirt from them boys, man, because they're fucking.
Well, fuck, hit them up and see if you can get it online.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually. Yeah, I'm gonna hit them up. Yeah, actually, I got access to them. I'm gonna hit those guys up because I sent them their video. But
and then, of course, if they don't have a website, send them over to me. I'll help them out.
Oh yeah, right. Like, yeah, we're gonna definitely do that. Yeah, man. But that's the thing. Yeah. But that's what's cool. But that's also a cool thing that when I started realizing is that these are the things that we can do, like to help bands and help bands out there who aren't as up on technology, or just like making sure that we remind them, hey, like, and even just remind myself to like, okay, dude, you can use your phone next time. Just ask them, hey, do you guys do can I get use for your phone?
Right. Digital,
right. So, but the thing was, I the one thing I do have to say is that you're still able out if you're a rock and metal band, even jazz, dude. I have to say this to jazz artists too. You guys, the genres of music that we do, and I've said this time and time again, physical copies, physical products will always shine for us. They do. It's just that's because of the age of those genres. Hip hop is a little different. Dance is a little EDM. Even like when it comes to pop music, certain pop music, like your Ariana Grande's and your Britney Spears, right? And your Lady Gaga's. Lady Gaga still can sell CDs, surprisingly. Like, she's done it before, like within recent years, where she had a single coming out and she went to disc makers and got the single on CD and was able to sell them out, right? But that's it's nostalgic, right?
It's got the nostalgia to it, and it's got the tangibility of having something physical and stuff. And one thing that I would add to that as well is you can still have physical products that are digital. You know, because a lot of people don't have a CD player, you know?
Facts.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, you know, I got a 2021 Kia that does not have a disc space in it anywhere.
But
you know
most of the time people are using it for just their merch. That's why I say their merch.
Right. But what I'm saying
items.
is that you can offer a physical piece of merch that looks like a CD, but it is like a digital download situation, and you could still sell it for X amount of dollars or whatever, you know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah,
You're like, hey.
absolutely.
And so it could look like the album covers, like behind the standard CD covers, right? It could look like that, and you can even have it have the case, like the old school shit, like have it case. And when you open up the case, on the inside there is like a physical CD like this. However, it has a QR code inside the booklet or whatever. You scan that, you download the music, and that's not an actual CD. It's just a piece of nostalgia merchandise. That way you're not selling somebody essentially a piece of useless shit, and then they got to go still stream you over on wherever. They can actually download the music directly to their phone and play it in their iTunes or their Google or their YouTube or whatever, stuff like that.
Yeah,
I think that would be a great way.
Yeah, I did that at when I remember when FYE for your entertainment. I did that with it was Oceans of Slumber when I bought their first CD. I purchased it. I had them digital download it because they didn't have a physical copy in the store. So I went ahead and just had them digital download it for me. Yeah, and I still end up paying for it. Paid, like the same price. But yeah, but even like digital prints of like of the band of photos and things like that. Yeah, totally. But that's the thing. Like I'm just saying, like the one thing I would like to see more bands do is, like I said, do more, learn marketing. Okay, so you jazz, rock, and metal guys, learn marketing. Okay, really learn about marketing and learn how and build an understanding of digital marketing.
Yeah.
Build an understanding. You don't necessarily have to become an expert at it, but just build an understanding of it, right? Just learn learn how it works, right? Because here's the thing. People still love live videos. They're still going to see live footage, right? But people still metal, and this is what I was saying with when you look at like the metal reviews, right? With heavy metal reviews shows that's on YouTube, like your Heavy Metal Philosophy, Banger TV, those guys, they review albums. They review full albums. Metal, my homegirl, shout out to Metal and Coffee, Ebony. Ebony reviews full albums. Okay. Dragon Baby T, shout out to Dragon Baby T of Punk Black. When she says 5 bands you need on your playlist, she's listening to the entire album that these artists, these bands are putting out. So the one thing you guys have to understand, rock, metal, and jazz. Even when I look at jazz reviews, right? Jazz reviews, these guys, they listen to the album. They listen to the full album. We are album listeners. Even our younger generation, even though they are more into digital, which is why Queen and bands like that, older bands, were able to really boost their numbers because of the younger audience. Deftones, another one. They're boosted their numbers because of younger audience. Shout out to Cinnamon Babe. Cinnamon Babe has been able to really boost their numbers because of streaming, right? But once Baby Girl puts out an album, that's going to be reviewed. And she's already had reviews as well. So the thing is, what I'm trying to say, guys, is that guess what? Certain things certain rules will always apply, especially when it comes to rock, metal, and jazz. And the one thing that applies is that we will always make money with physical copies. So Kurt Elling, sir, if you are out there listening, if you ever get a chance to cross this podcast, please note, my friend, and I'm saying this out of love and respect for you, because if you drop an album, brother, I'm buying, okay? But you have to do, that's what it is. You have to market your product. And for us, for jazz, rock, and metal artists, bands, and musicians, you have to learn how to market those products. And the way you market them is digitally. We still watch videos. We still go. I go on YouTube and I watch videos. Number one, you got a premium deal when it comes to that baby, right? You have the videos. You can put your videos on there. You can put your music on there. And hell, if you want to, you can throw your podcast on that bad boy. And now you got one space where everybody's going to be able to have access to what you do, right?
Yep. You can even live stream your live
You can
shows.
have a live stream, dude. And remember, guys, we are live. We thrive on live, right?
Mhm.
So why not put a cool live stream up?
Mhm.
Okay, video footage. Like I said, I'm still getting people loving that Versapole video that I post of them.
Mhm.
And then people are loving that video. And just recently, shout out to the mother of my youngest daughter. I don't like saying that baby mama shit. Y'all will never hear me
Right,
say
yeah.
that crap.
No, I
Fuck
get
that.
it.
I hate that. I hate that. That's a
I don't do
it's
it either,
rude as
man.
hell.
My kid's mom, she refers to me as baby daddy, but I never refer to her as baby mama ever. I'm just
Yeah.
like, that's my kid's mom.
Yeah, that's just so. It's just ugh. But
I
anyway,
either refer to her as my kid's mom or the ex. One of the
Yeah.
two. I never
Yeah.
say, even though she's like my last like long term relationship ex, but she's not actually my
she's
last
not
ex.
actually
Obviously,
ex, right?
had a couple between them, but
But-
no, like that's how I refer her. I never,
Right.
yeah, baby mama.
But the
trash.
thing is, but yesterday, shout out to her. Saturday, she did we did a photo shoot. So I got some really cool photos of me, guys. Got some, and that's another thing. A great photographer, guys. A great photographer, and because we can shoot videos ourselves. But if you got somebody who likes to shoot videos, man, go ahead and get them on to shoot a couple of videos for you, and then you can make those short form content. Make those into short form videos and put those out there. Put them on your social media platforms. And also, man, I'm saying have a freaking website. All right,
Yeah.
you guys, I'm serious. Rock, metal, and jazz artists, bands, and musicians. You need a website like you need toilet paper. Okay, let me just straight up say that. I
Yeah.
know, Sean, brother, I love you. I love you. I love you dearly. And I am very grateful for what you have been able to put together with us right here with Music Making Sense podcast, right? But I'm sorry. My babies, y'all need a website. Even if you're an
Yeah.
R&B and a soul band, if you are a band, if you play instruments, if you do live, if you thrive live, you understand what I'm saying? Babies, y'all need a website because these are where you are able to sell your tickets, you can sell your merch, you can sell everything.
Mhm.
Right? You can get people to come on there, do live streams. They'll know that they'll have access to certain live streams. You don't realize how much a website benefits you if you are in a band. If you are in a band, it benefits you so much. Even as a solo musician, like when you play an instrument, you need a place for jazz artists. You need a place to put your music and your abundance of music because that's what people are going to want to listen to. That's how you gain your fans. If you got an abundance of music on your website as a jazz artist, people, and you got merch and you got signature stuff, like if you're a drummer and you got autographed drumsticks, right? You got a drum pad that you autograph. You got endorsements, right? You can do the cymbals. You can do you can sell all this stuff on your personal website. You got personalized mugs. You know what I'm saying? Pens, bed sheets, right?
Yep.
Like
You can
for
do
real.
anything.
Yeah.
That's what I always tell people too, is I always refer to it as your base of operations to launch all your marketing out from.
Mhm.
You know, and I was listening to Gary Vee like actually all day yesterday. And so I got a lot of stuff rolling through my head
Shout
with
out
that.
to Gary
but
V.
yeah, definitely. But he referred to websites as land, right? He referred to it as land for your business. Like
Perfect.
if you had a physical business, you need your retail shop. You know what I'm saying? You need your restaurant, you need whatever it is, your grocery store, whatever. You know, if you think of it like that, that is where you reside. That's where your business is located. And then you have all your other marketing channels that you operate out of. And so that's what I always tell people too, because just like everything that KP just said, you can do with your website, you can also nurture the relationship with your fans through building email, having newsletters.
Exactly.
And then
Sorry,
you can also have, you can throw out
good point.
freebies as well too on there, free downloads and stuff like that, you know, and you can really build from there as well. Because having that constant contact, that direct contact with people is much more personable. And, you know, that's one thing, like I was saying at the beginning, the difference between hip hop shows and any other genre in live is that it's that collective group experience. All right, y'all, let me take a quick break right here to tell you about something that's completely fucking ridiculous, okay? It's called HorribleDesigns.com. And I personally know the owner, and he's just as ridiculous as this whole fucking company is, okay? If you or someone you know loves stickers and mugs and shirts with crazy, outlandish sayings on them that just are designed to catch people's attention out in public and get them to laugh and point and ask you, hey, where'd you get that t-shirt, or where'd you get that sticker, when they see it on your car and stuff like that, y'all got to go check out HorribleDesigns.com. At HorribleDesigns.com, they have all kinds of ridiculous sayings on stickers and coffee mugs, t-shirts, vinyl stickers, magnets, and even mouse pads, okay? And I'm telling you, if you guys have not checked out HorribleDesigns.com, you got to go check it out, because some things are straight up great, like the American Muscle mouse pad. It's got some awesome pictures of great muscle cars if you're into cars, or you know somebody who's into muscle cars and they need some great mouse pad to have while they're on the computer working. But then they also have dumbass fucking t-shirts that say things like, are you staring at my ass, with a picture of a donkey on it, or stickers that say, are you staring at my beaver, with a picture of a beaver on it. Stuff like that, man. Completely ridiculous shirts and stickers, coffee mugs, everything like that. Anything that you could ever think about having just to get people's attention, make a statement out in public, and just completely be ridiculous, and to do it with some horrible designs at the exact same time. And like I said, I know the owner, so he hooked us up with a great deal where you can save right now by using the link below in the description. Whenever you go there and shop, you will not only support Music Making Sense podcast, but you also get a great deal on any and everything that you decide to purchase every time that you use that link right there in the description below. So make sure you go check that out right now, HorribleDesigns.com. Use the link below in order to get good savings. Go check it out. Buy some ridiculous shit for yourself or someone you know. All right, now let's get back to the show.
Right.
You know, even at larger hip hop shows, it's more like a festival or a party, and you're just going to see the person and then you leave, right? But when you go to like a rock or a jazz or a metal or anything like that, where it's like live instruments, and it's like a whole different vibe for some reason. Even at a small dive bar, you know, people are like, yeah, people network at hip hop shows and stuff like that, but it's way more of a cultural thing where people come together at rock shows and stuff like that. You know, my ex, she's a rocker like none other, right? And my kid's mom, and she always likes going to like these 3 and 4 day festivals and stuff like that, you know, like open air and all these things, right? And she every time she goes to anything like that, she always meets one new friend that she stays in touch with on Facebook or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like that's and then they meet together again for more shows and stuff like that. You know, that's really something that builds, where with hip hop it just doesn't. So, you know, whenever I'm dealing with a lot of hip hop artists, I'm like, look, yo, until you actually have venues and tours and stuff like that knocking down your door saying, hey, we will pay you X amount of dollars to come be on this show with us, then don't worry about it. You know, if you want to go up and do some open mics to practice your stage presence and stuff like that, okay, fine. But don't be out here trying to, you know, do any of these live shows and showcases and stuff like that for exposure, or these networking events and stuff like that. Like, some of them are all right, but a lot of them will just be a waste of your time. You're best where you're going to see yourself grow the most as an artist is through gaining fans. And so you have to go where the fans are. Yep. So for those of y'all who are subscribed to the Music Making Sense podcast newsletter, or my personal company, Apex Music Systems newsletter, I put out a newsletter and I put out a video the other day talking about Well, actually, I haven't put that video yet. But anyway, I put out a newsletter talking about how I had a discussion with somebody who's got over 20 years in PR and marketing, and they've worked for all different kinds of people, different kinds of corporations, even like some music stuff and everything. And they were talking about, all the different things that you need to do in order to have PR and marketing and everything like that as an artist. And one thing that they mentioned on there was the album release party. And I said, well, I would disagree with you about that. I think that's a waste of fucking time and money and just completely irrelevant. And he's like, no, it's a signature part. They've always done it. Right. And so that's when I hear people say this is how things have always been done, or Hardco's don't try to reinvent the wheel. That's when I really push back harder. And my brain gets cooking and I come up with all the examples. I'm like, oh, we shouldn't reinvent the wheel, so we should still roll around with wooden wheels on our Bentleys now, right? No, we don't. We literally reinvent the wheel every fucking day. Me and you are talking on an electronic mode of communication that never used to be possible. We used to have to actually be in the physical space with somebody or send a letter via horse. You know what I'm saying? Like, reinventing the wheel is necessary to grow as not only a human species, but as, an artist, a company, anything like that. And so, when people talk a lot, they talk in absolutes and polarities. It's either live shows or online. And yeah, while I kind of like that dichotomy because it creates friction and helps out with sales and marketing on my end as a marketer, in reality, you need to have a mix of both, Right. So like what KP was just talking about with all the different elements of the live show, as well as some of the electronic elements you can throw in there, you need to be able to do all of those, Like I said, people still like the physical, like for those of y'all watching, the physical artistry of the album cover and the artwork on the CD itself, or even on the 45, the LPs themselves or whatever. They like that stuff because it's a nostalgia thing. And even for the younger generation, the Zs, who never have needed to put in a CD in order to listen to music. They've always had streaming, right? My kids are 15, and like once they started listening to music on their own, it was all digital. They've never had I remember we got them like CD player, like boombox CD players and shit like that, and some CDs and everything like that when they were like in 6th grade or something like that, and they barely listened to it because they could just hop on YouTube on their Xbox or on their tablet or whatever, right? And so like, but they still like the nostalgia factor to a lot of things. I see people, like I said, I see people who were not born until after the year 2000. They'll walk around with like a Nirvana shirt or a Pac shirt or something. My 15-year-old kid has a Tupac shirt, right? Yeah. And Pac died when I was 10. You know what I'm saying? Right. so they like that old shit.
Right. And that's because of streaming.
Right. Well, there's that too.
The younger audience
they
does
live
streaming.
Online. Yeah, they live online. So you need to be online as well too, So if you have a live show, you need to live stream some of that because especially if you're going to be doing a tour, you can have that live stream up. You can clip out a little bit of that and use that for promo, for geo-targeting for your next shows coming up in specific areas. You know what I'm saying? So like if you are in Mobile, Alabama, and you're doing a show, you live stream that bitch, or at least half of it, right? You cut clip out of that, and then you create a promo piece that you run ads to in Seattle, Washington, and say, hey, Seattle, Washington, we're coming here, blah, blah, blah. This is what you'll get to expect. Hey, go to our channel and watch the last live show, blah, blah, blah. Stuff like that. You build that culture to where people are seeing it and they're like, oh man, imagine being there in person. Fuck yeah, they're coming my way. You know what I'm saying? It builds that anticipation, because you have to build anticipation in some elements. Like I personally hate, and I think it's completely a waste of time when you try to build anticipation for an upcoming song or album. That's a waste of time because there's over 100,000 songs uploaded to Spotify every day. Why the fuck would somebody wait X amount of time for your shit to drop when they can go and listen to 100,000 brand new songs today? You know what I'm saying? So that right there is a waste of time. However, if you already have music out and you are on tour with that shit, you need to be able to get people to your next show. So you have to build the hype in that segment, right? Just like, you run scarcity when you're talking about only X amount of sales left, tickets left, only X amount of shirts left, only X amount of, this limited run of a
Vinyl.
Of a vinyl or of a digital CD hybrid, right? Like
Mhm.
what I was talking about a second ago, where the CD itself doesn't actually have any music on it, or you could put music on it, but in the booklet you have the digital download. When they scan that QR code, then guess what? Now you get their email address, so you can start email marketing to them with newsletters and have up and coming, information about sales and tours and upcoming music and blah, blah, blah. But you can also, they can get that digital download, put it right on their phone, in their iTunes or in their Spotify or whatever, their YouTube music and stuff like that as well. You can do these different hybrid things in order to give people that physical as well as use the digital space. Because like KP said, a lot of these people will rock the fuck out in person. They may even have their merchandising on point to where they can accept all digital payments. However, they are not marketing themselves online at all. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, the person I was talking to that was telling me I didn't need to reinvent the wheel, because I was telling them, look, that having a release party sounds ridiculous on its face to me, because, like we've talked about before, I'm highly logical. Is okay, so you spend money creating the products, right? You got the songs being created, you got music videos, the promo material, everything like that. You get everything set up for the actual marketing run, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're spending all this money, all this time and everything like that. And then you have a party, and it's supposed to have like record people there and celebrities and blah, 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 shit like that, right? So you're spending even more money before you've actually even done any work. So the way I see it personally, from being an asshole, is I'm seeing it as you're celebrating before you've even fucking accomplished anything. You're doing
Putting
it
the
backwards.
carriage before the horse. Yeah,
exactly. Putting the carriage before the horse. So that's why I told him, I'm like, look, an album release party seems fucking ridiculous to me. But however, when you crack top 40 Billboard, fuck yeah, I have a fucking goddamn cracking top 40 Billboard party. When you're number one on Billboard, let's have a number one Billboard party, right? And then you can showcase those achievements to your fans online, because he was like, oh yeah, you can live stream the album release party and use that for promo of the album. I'm like, no, how about once you have success, you use those successes to market that to your fans and show them how much work that they are doing to help you have success, and now they are a part of something that's being successful, not just something, it's like the whole thing of partying on a Friday just because you made it through the weekend work, but you didn't actually fucking accomplish anything. That sounds ridiculous to me. So we were going back and forth on that. And then he was talking about how guerrilla marketing is needed and everything like that. You got to market like physically with flyers and shit like that. And I'm like, yeah, before a show, but not because you just released an album and you want people to buy it. Like, people don't know who the fuck you are on that goddamn flyer. That's the beauty of social media, is you can actually allow people to see who you are. They can get a taste of everything for free. And then they can go down that journey and pay you $1 or $2 for a fucking digital download, or $10 for the album, or they can even just donate to you. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. They can do different kinds of support mechanisms that you can generate an income from them for. Yeah. But like you said at the beginning, some genres, and even within some genres, there's a lot of elements that have not evolved the way they need to. They need to evolve. They need to incorporate this digital shit in with there and have hybrids, like what you just ran into at the show, right? Yep. Yeah, you said you didn't like do any like extra asking and stuff like that, but off the rip, they told you like it's either card or cash. We don't do any other forms of digital fucking currency, right? And so it's just like, okay,
and that's just at the bar. Yeah, but that was just the bar, right?
Right. But I'm saying, like, okay, cool. You just cut off half of your fucking income possibility.
Yeah, you did.
Because
and I love the place now, mind you.
Because there's a lot of people who don't carry their cards around with them anymore because they can get booped You know what I'm saying? You know what everybody knows what the boop is. That's when somebody can come up to you with an RFID scanner, and they can get kind of close to you, maybe even bump into you, grab that information and drain your bank account like that. All right. I just wanted to come in here and let every single one of y'all who love raw, real underground hip hop know about a dope show I found over on YouTube, and they're exclusively on YouTube as well too. All right, it's called Hip Hop Radar Underground. Make sure you go check them out. They got live Friday shows every single Friday, showcasing artists from all across the world, underground, raw, real hip hop. And if you're an artist, you can actually go and submit your music there too and get it popping on that show. It's a great place to go and network with everybody as well too. Everybody that watches that show and tunes in live are raw, real hip hop fans. All right, so it's a great place to find some real lovers of your music. And like I said, if you love listening to dope new music, make sure you go check them out. They also offer artist spotlight interviews as well too. So if you're an artist, you want a spotlight, go ahead and hit them up over there. Me and KP were just previously on there, and we had a dope interview, sat down with the host himself, Sack Juggalo, and had a great conversation. It was a great opportunity. So I just wanted to cut this message right here for every single one of y'all who love raw, real hip hop, or you're an artist. Make sure you go check out Hip Hop Radar Underground over on YouTube. You can also follow them over on IG. Make sure you go check them out. All right, let's get back to the show. Yeah. So people don't do that a lot. So now they have it all on their Google or Apple Pay, right, in their digital wallets. And then they actually have to put in a code on their phone or a thumbprint or a face scan or something like that. Something's more secure before they can do the boopity bop in order to actually send some money to somebody, right? And so you got to have that ability, to be able to do it, man, because I've seen restaurants that only have one location that have the ability to fucking boop to pay, right? So if you're out there trying to make any money off of your artistry, whether you're a manager or you're the tour manager or you're actually the artist themselves, you got to have the ability to get money however possible. You know what I'm saying? And so
not just an ATM machine.
Yeah, somebody like there might not be an ATM machine around. Somebody may have forgot their card. Their card may have gotten lost or stolen or something like that. However, they can still Venmo you. They can still do PayPal. They can do Cash App. They can fucking do the Square thing and actually tap their phone on a card reader or on another phone. There's different ways that you can do it. So you got to have those options. Just like with your marketing, when you're getting ready to have a show in Seattle, Washington, you need to have flyers up and a street team promoting that shit locally in the right scenes, right? But then you also need to do it digitally. So that way, every time somebody's on their social media on their phone in the morning taking a shit or at night before they fall asleep, they're getting hit with another reminder. So for instance, my dad sent me a message last week and he said, hey, so speaking of not being on top of things with digital currency, my dad doesn't have a debit card or nothing like that, right? He just deals in cash or checks, right? And so he hit me up and he said, hey, can you buy these tickets to Afro Man in the next town over for me? And I said, okay, cool, because I got digital shit, right? And then he just pays me cash. And so then I went and did that. But guess how he found out Afro Man was having a show in a town he doesn't even live in, but it's the next town over, like an hour away? Facebook. You know what I'm saying? He saw a Facebook ad.
Wow. That
was geo-targeted to him, and he was like, oh shit, Afro Man's coming. And I said, oh, you're interested in seeing Afro Man? Because I know about this other show that's happening in Fort Wayne, which is like 3 hours away. And he's like, okay, yeah, I might want tickets to that too. Like, he just wants to see Afro Man 4 times in a month. I'm like, okay, fine, whatever, dude. You're paying for it, not me. So you can do what you want. Like, that's the beauty of him basically being retired. And he just goes to shows all the time. He loves that shit. I hate it. But yeah, so like I was talking to him about that. And then all of a sudden, guess what I get on my Facebook? A fucking advertisement about Afro Man coming to my town where I live. My dad still lives an hour away from me, right? Afro Man coming to my town. I said, hey, Dad, I just saw this Facebook ad right here. And he's like, oh, give me tickets to that. So he went to that on the 8th of March, right? He went to that show. And then guess what he just found out as well? So the first show that he told me about was an hour away from him. Whenever I went to go buy it that day, I went on later that evening and they were already sold out. And he's like, fuck. And so that's when I was like, hey, I know about this Fort Wayne show. And then all of a sudden I found out about the show that's in my town. So he went and saw that. Well, then he just texted me yesterday. He's like, hey man, I just saw that they just opened up a second day at this first place. Can you buy me tickets right now? And so I went on there, boom, got it. He found out all of that, not because there's a flyer at a local dive bar that he doesn't go to because he quit drinking 23 years ago. He found out about it on Facebook. About a live performance of fucking Afro Man, which still has name recognition. However, he's nowhere near as popular as he was when he came out with Because I Got High. You know what I'm saying? Oh. Which, for those of y'all who are younger than 20, you have no fucking clue what I'm talking about. But it was a fucking thing when he came out with that song. Back in the fucking late 90s, early 2000s. That shit went everywhere. You know what I'm saying? That and then Colt 45. Those two songs right there, man, really got him fucking blown the fuck up to where now even my fucking, how fuck old is he? See, I'm fucking 37. So my dad's almost 60-year-old dad is going to a fucking Afro Man concert and stuff like that. And, you know, he was even showing me like the video from the 8th. Like there was like a very diverse range of ages there. There was some college people there. There was some, you know, Gen millennials. There was some Gen Xers and stuff like that. It was really interesting, but it was all from the digital. He wouldn't have known about the one happening an hour away from him if it wasn't for digital marketing. I wouldn't have known about the one in my town if it wasn't for digital marketing. I wouldn't have known about the one in Fort Wayne 3 hours away from me if it wasn't for digital, you know, Facebook. And then he wouldn't have found out about the second day opening that I could have got him on, that I ended up getting him tickets for as well too, if it wasn't for that either.
Yeah, I wouldn't have found out about this local show if it wasn't for Instagram.
See what I'm saying? Because that's the game, right? That's, if you get people to come to a show based off of that, you need to have the ability for them to go further down that fan journey with you. Because a lot of times when you're doing tours, or artists, when you're doing tours, you're doing it to promote a recent project. Most of the time, not all the time, right? Yep. And so, like, you know, in order to sell your latest CD, your latest piece of merch, stuff like that, you got to market digitally, but then you also got to have all the digital elements involved as well too. Because there might be some people who, for instance, they liked Afro Man, right? They're like, oh shit, Afro Man's on tour right now. Well, I don't have the money to go to a show, or I don't have the time to take off to go to a show, or, oh fuck, it's already sold out. But they got awareness, and Afro Man's back in their head again, right? And so now they may go and click on Afro Man's stuff and see, oh, he's got a new album out. Let me go stream that, or let me go buy his new CD. You know what I'm saying? Or, oh yeah, man, look at that cool piece of shirt that he's got for this, man. I want one of those too. You know, stuff like that. Those type of things you can do as well. But you got to have that base of operations, and you got to launch from there. You know, and, you know, like I said, I have a self-interest in building websites for people because I do that for my financial purposes, right? As a business, I build websites for artists and musicians and podcasts and stuff like that. But you can do it yourself too. You know, I recommend what people do is the exact same thing I do. It's just I do it for people so they don't have to. Is go to Wix, create a free Wix website, and then don't upgrade. Don't pay that $35 a month. Then what you do is you go to GoDaddy.com, right? And you go and you buy your domain, whatever you want it to be. KP is the best at music.com, right? And you know, kpscreamsalot.com or whatever the fuck, right? You go there, you buy that, and then in there you do what's called a DNS forwarding, and you forward the DNS to the URL for your free Wix site. Now you're only paying about $20 a year to have your website up and running, and you can use on all social media and everything like that, kpscreamsalot.com. Go check out all my shit, right? People can type that in.
That's just an example, guys. That's not an actual website.
Yeah, it's not an actual thing. Yeah, it's just an example, right? Right. But okay, here, a real one. People can go to harcoastmusic.net, right? You can type that in your search engine. You can click that on any of my shit or whatever, and it takes you to my free Wix website. But at my free Wix website, you can download my fucking music for free. You can donate on PayPal donate. You can fucking go check out merch. You can go and subscribe to my newsletter and stuff like that. You can also find me on all the streaming platforms based right there, because all my streaming platforms are linked up right there. You can find all the social media accounts for me right there and for following me there too. You know what I'm saying? So it's a base of operation that functions way better and way more extensively than just a link tree, right? Because I had somebody tell me, oh, I got a link tree, I don't need a website. I'm like, no, you're missing out on half the possibilities to grow that a website offers you. You know what I'm saying? And right there, look, I just told y'all how to have a website fully functional for $20 a year. You know what I'm saying? So when people say, oh, I can't afford a website, you can't afford $20 over 12 months?
No,
Come
these
on
websites are cheap. Even like Bandzoogle, which is what I'm through, kpboldenmusic.com. I'm only paying like 16, a little bit under $20 a month.
Yeah, even there, right? Like $20 a month if you want to do it like that. You can Bandcamp is an opportunity as well too. You can go to Bandcamp as well, and that's where they have a free version, and then they have paid tiers as well too that give you more opportunities. All these different things are things that you can do on your own, and you can have your own setup. You know, if you're a producer and you just make beats or whatever and stuff like that, BeatStars. Done.
I just
right?
purchased. I just told you guys.
KP's got BeatStars as well too. Yep. Yeah, and they have a free tier, and then they have like the one tier is like $20 a year.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? $20 a year, and you can sell beats and shit like that off of there. You have the opportunity to make way more than $20 a year. And then once you start making a lot, you want to upgrade to the next package that's like, I don't know, a couple $100 a year or something like that. It gives you a lot more availability, and then you can run from there. But like the digital realm is not as expensive as it used to be. All right, y'all. I just wanted to hop in here again real quick. Yes, I know again, but you know what? We rock with a lot of people here, and a lot of people rock with us here at Music Making Sense Podcast. So I got to tell you about all these great people, all right? And this one right here, right now, is Mad K Studios, all right? Go check them out, madkstudios.com. Mad K is a dope artist, man. This guy can draw or paint almost anything, okay? He really, really specializes in, like, portrait arts for memorialization of your favorite car or a family member or a loved one or something like that. All right. Full commission artwork, no copy and paste shit or nothing like that. All right. Custom designs. If you want it, make sure you go hit up madkstudios.com for your custom art piece. And you can even go check out some of the pieces that he's done for freelance and stuff like that. And you can also get it on a shirt. He's got coffee mugs and mouse pads and all kinds of other decorative pieces of artwork that you can go and check out as well too. So if you're a connoisseur of art, you're looking for a nice piece of knickknack or something like that around the house, or if you want a custom artwork designed for a loved one or something that's cherished in your life that you want memorialized in an actual painting, a real painting, make sure you go check out madkstudios.com. Let them know Harkos over at Music Making Sense Podcast sent you. All right, let's get back to the show. You know, like I said, I was listening to Gary Vee a lot, and he was talking about how 3 years before YouTube launched, he was looking into starting like his Wine Library TV, which was his first thing where he was trying to do online marketing and stuff like that for his dad's liquor business.
Yeah, liquor beer.
And he wanted to do it, but when he talked to people, they said that it was going to be like $10,000 a month for him just to have the ability to have like a 5-minute video up, and then people can stream it. But then after like 50 people streaming it, the bandwidth cost was going to be even more than that. And he's like, well, fuck that. But then YouTube came around and said, yo, you can do this for free. And so that's why he's like, and that's why I hopped on YouTube 3 months after it launched, because they gave me the ability to do what I needed to do for free. Like all kinds of shit is out here for free. And what really trips me out is people bitch. They're like, oh, well, Elon is charging $8 a month for fucking Twitter now. That's ridiculous. It's like, you know that for $8 a month, you get a lot more than just regular standard Facebook access and stuff like that. You know, you get higher priority. You have the ability to start monetizing once you get a higher audience and everything like that. Yeah. You know, we have it for Music Making Sense Podcast. We have the paid premium or whatever, so we can upload long form videos on there. So anytime that, you know, I have any, you know, any informational videos, or KP has any how to's or anything like that we want to put up there, we can put it up there just like we can put it up on YouTube.
Yeah.
And it gets that reach, it gets that interaction as well too. So you got to be up on socials, and yeah, go out there and rock the fuck out, especially if you're a rock band, metal band, jazz band, stuff like that, where live shows still kill, where people love that shit. Go do it. Go do it nonstop, but have that digital presence as well too, because without it, Afroman would have just rolled through and nobody would have showed up, just like nobody shows up to half of y'all shows out there. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's definitely what you should do. And KP, man, was 100% right on that. With the review shows too, let me just add that, with the review shows, those are key to reaching new people. Yeah, a lot of the times the audience of the review show is other artists that are trying to get their music reviewed as well too. But depending on your demographic, you could have a lot of people who just like listening to the hosts of that show's opinion on music and maybe debating it and shit like that in the stats, in the comments. But then you're also going to have the ability to grow your fan base based off of that, you know? Like one of the advertisers here on Music Making Sense podcast is Hip Hop Radar Underground. He does a review show every Friday, right? Plays people's music, shows a fuck ton of love and everything like that, you know? And, you know, that's a place where you go in there, dude, the comment section is highly active with a lot of regular people in there that will go and subscribe to you, that will go and show you love and everything like that, like none other, man, because that's what it's about. And I'm sure it's the same with those two review shows that you talked about with the metal genre as well too. If you go in, there's a community in there, and having access to communities on a digital element is just like being a regular band, whatever the fuck they call it, having a regular ship or whatever, yep, at your local fucking bar or whatever, like the hot spot in your town. It's just the same way. It's just a digital community instead. And you can get people from all over, man. Imagine going and having, you know, being in the part of the community on a digital review show, and you got some people in Washington and some people in New York and some people in Australia and some people in the UK listening, right? Well, guess what? Even if it's only 2 people from each place, those 2 people, if they hear your music and they like it, well, now they're going to tell at least one person that they know. So now those 8 people just turned to fucking 16. Yeah. And it keeps growing from there, because then once all the algorithms and stuff like that on your streaming platforms and social media see that you're popping in these other countries and stuff, it'll start recommending it to like people in those countries as well too. And then you start growing. It's like a virus spreading, you know what I'm saying? And that's what you need to be. That's why it's called virality.
Yeah. Facts.
100%.
There it is, man. Well,
absolutely.
Well. Let's give it.
Okay. Shit, where was yours after you went on your 20-minute thing explaining to people how to get their shit done, man? You needed one of those too. I don't even think I have the buttons. I gotta download the sounds or whatever. But no, man, you just took over the first half of the show, telling people all the shit that they need to do as well too. You know. Yeah, man. So do one more for yourself, one more for KP, one more for KP. Yeah, do a thing for the first half for KP. There we go, right there for KP as well too, because this motherfucker, you know, he knows his element. Yeah. You know, each one of us, we know our elements, and we know a little bit of each other's elements as well too, and we know general knowledge as well. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to that community within rock and metal, that's where KP breathes, you know? And so if you are an artist out there and, you know, you're trying to figure out how to get your band to grow and stuff like that, talk to KP. You know, not only was he previously in a band who was doing decent, but also he goes to a lot of these shows. He has a lot of insight. He's within the community as well, too. So he can tell you, hey, look, you're fucking up right here. You're not doing enough of this. This is what the community loves. You know this. I'm just reinforcing this to you, you know, type of thing. The same way I do with a lot of people with hip hop. And I'm like, yo, it's all about image and swag, right? So why the fuck are you not swag the fuck out and image and, you know, promoting your image online? Yeah. You know, people are, you know, in hip hop, people are watchers. You know what I'm saying? They watch what you're doing. They're pocket watchers and move watchers. You know what I'm saying? Big time. So you got to show them what you're doing. You don't always have to be iced out. You know what I'm saying? Nope. But you got to show them you're moving, you're shaking. And then once they see you, once they see you moving, they'll move with you.
Sorry.
That's
And
okay.
the cool thing that I wanted to say though is that what's cool about hip hop is that you guys have the advantage of having adjacents. Like you can have a rock adjacent feel of hip hop. You can have a metal adjacent. You can have a punk adjacent. You can have those aesthetics. You can bring in certain things. You can be jazzy with it. You can have that jazz swag. You know, you have the ability to bring in a lot of adjacents and open up the world to different styles of music. Hell, you can even bring country. Like look at what's happening with country, right? Like you're bringing in some of that hip hop swag and beats and Def Leppard with fiddles, right? I mean, you add a little bit of that sauce of there, right? And now you're seeing this growth. So guys, just you know, for you hip hop artists, I'm gonna say you guys have the advantage of of using adjacents to make yourself stand out as well.
Yeah, because
So
you can
think
do
about
that melting, like what we were talking about in the last episode. It's all about that melting of different genres within music to create better things. You know,
Yep.
you know, you got to melt cheese on top of nachos. If not, you're just eating chips with some meat on it. You know what I'm saying? You got to melt that shit in. So you know, you gotta melt that in. Yeah, absolutely, dude. I mean, fuck, if it wasn't for the melting of rock and hip hop, there wouldn't have been Linkin Park and their 15,000 year run. There wouldn't be fucking Rage Against the Machine. There wouldn't be Limp Bizkit. There wouldn't be a lot of fucking people. Excuse me.
I mean,
you know,
even with Run DMC helping Aerosmith revitalize their career.
Absolutely. That definitely helped Aerosmith out.
That did.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, depending on how you look at things, some people are like, oh, that helped Run DMC and hip hop grow. Yeah, it did. But it also helped Aerosmith grow a lot as well, too. You know, they were, see, that's the thing is that, like, when you team up, you know, even if you just mix hip hop and R&B, you know what I'm saying? You know, like Jamie Foxx, Twista, and Kanye on fucking Overnight Celebrity. You know what I'm saying? Like, that kind of shit blends so well, you know, that you can create that new stuff, you know, and collaboration is key, everything like that. But, you know, you got to be out there in the digital and then start rocking the physical, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, you know, sometimes you're going to have to play those empty shows and stuff like that. But if you can try to hedge yourself to where you're not playing empty shows by having a strong social media presence and being able to geotag and knowing how to do that, you know, knowing how to run Google Pixels and everything like that, and aim it in certain areas, it's going to help you so much more when you go to the physical. You know, that's one of the things I think I see a lot of people failing at is that they want to go and do these shows, but then they can only ever bring 3 people with them, and that's their friends or their family. You know what I'm saying? They can never get more people there. And that's the whole purpose of these shows, throwing these artist showcase, is to try to grab fan bases from multiple artists and pull it into a place to pack out a show. However, if these artists don't have a fan base, then it doesn't do shit. Yeah. You know, it doesn't do shit for the artist, doesn't do shit for anything else. I remember real quickly, you know, whenever I first did like my first show or whatever, after I did my first show and I was like, you know, you get off stage, you know, and there's like 15 people at the show or whatever. People were like, oh man, that was dope, man. Where can I find your stuff? And I didn't have a damn thing, right? I didn't have a website, so I couldn't say hardcoastmusic.net. I didn't have a business card with a QR code or even the word on there with it. Yeah. I didn't have, you know, my social media wasn't fucking brand solidarity. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, fuck. And so I realized this in like 2018. That I need to start having this shit. That's immediately what I saw was, you know, because you got to be able to make it easy. You know, I'm an asshole with it. And I say, you got to make your marketing smart enough for the dumbest retard, but you actually have to factor in for the lazy people and the not so smart people technology wise. You got to make it to where they can actually get to your shit as easy as possible. Make it as simple as possible for them. Because if you do that, then you will have growth as well too. You know, so if you're going to be doing these shows, bare minimum, go to Vistaprint or whatever, you know, and get 500 business cards for like $20 or whatever. And it just has a picture of you on there and it says, you know, harcosmusic.net, have a QR code or whatever, and then you can just hand that to people. Be like, yo, here you go. And then that QR code goes to your free Wix site where you have all your stuff. It's that simple. Minimal money, but it has maximum results.
Yep.
Absolutely. So
any
other points, KP?
Yeah, man, no, we
pretty solid. Just killed the fuck out of it.
Yeah,
I know,
man.
you talked for like the first half hour, so you're just kind of like, yeah, I think I'm done now. I got it all out.
Yeah, I did.
So, hey, it's all good, man. That was a lot of dope information. So for every single one of y'all listening, make sure, you continue, like, share, follow, subscribe to the Music Making Sense podcast. Me and KP both have our own separate projects that we're getting ready to start coming out with here soon. All designed to help artists. KP's been doing, if you watch on all the social media and streaming platforms, YouTube, KP's been doing vocal lessons. And just to let you know, KP, an email came in from your vocal lesson student on the Music Making Sense podcast when we were sitting here.
Sweet.
But then that's not no bullshit either. It actually did. I can show y'all, but that's private information. But yeah, he's been doing vocal lessons and stuff like that for people. And he's working on building his rock.
I'll chat with you after about.
Okay, cool. Yeah. And, but he's also working on building, some more resources for bands, the band growth strategy thing. I have my, TikTok style music video free little mini course that I'm going to be putting out here very, very soon. Make sure you subscribe to the newsletter, at musicmakingssensepod.com. That way you can get all this information when we put this stuff out. We will put it out in newsletter, and then we also just throw out pieces of information in there as well too. I've been starting to record my thoughts a little bit more and then have it as a video, but then also transcribe that and put it out in the newsletter for those of y'all who like to read. I don't read very well, so I like things in audio, but I know some people love to read, and you can sit there and you can do that real quick while you're at work, and you don't have to worry about having sound on or nothing like that. You can just read real quick. And so, but yeah, we're going to be telling you about all this stuff, all the different resources that we're coming up here, some free, some paid, some, low and high ticket, everything like that. But we're going to be having a lot of options for artists. That way you guys can start growing. But of course, as always, keep tuning in here every single week. And we will keep trying to help everybody out. So until then, we're sponsored by, well, we're not sponsored by, but
powered by Riverside
Riverside.
FM.
Yeah, exactly. Because Riverside is so much better than Zoom, man. It doesn't get us fuzzy and shit like that as Zoom does.
It's a way funner. It's a way funner platform to use too, man.
Well, yeah, because you got your fucking sound kit and everything like that. Too, that you love. But yeah. Anyway, we're gonna get the fuck up out of here. And we will see y'all on the next episode. MusicMakingSensePodcast.com as always. Play that weird music.
Now you off, dude. We out, y'all.
See you, bye.
Holla.